Good morning, fiber friends. Happy Tuesday to you all. I just want to start by saying thank you very, very much for all of your follows lately and your subscribing to my channel. My name is Jamie and I'm from Redbird Stitches. I truly appreciate it. I've been doing a lot of work trying to get my channel out there on Instagram, Facebook, and as well as on Etsy. I just want to let you guys know that I am running a winter sale at 25% off. So if you could go check out my store and give it a like, a follow, I would greatly appreciate it. I understand if you're, everybody's got tight finances right now because the holidays are over, but if you see something you like, please don't hesitate, and I'd be very grateful for that. So I would say if you're new here, but everybody's new here. It's only been a matter of days that I've had actually some folks subscribing. So thank you so much. And today I wanted to talk about a couple things. One is inspiration, like where do we find our inspiration for our projects and colors and things of that nature. I have always loved art. I never really explored art until I was, in my adult years. I enjoy acrylic painting. I love watercolor painting. I'm not as good in watercolor. I need more time, but I enjoy painting. And I've never had any formal training in any of the art classifications, but it's just something I've always been drawn to. I think it comes from my dad. He was an amazing, he did iron work. He was a welder by trade, and he also did stained glass work. So I think that there's a trait that comes from his side of the family in that aspect, and I get my fiber love from my grandmother on her side. So I wanted to show you, when I started doing crochet, I was sometimes overwhelmed when I would go into a yarn shop or even just to a craft store and look at all the yarn, because I had a hard time. I had my favorite colors. Typically I gravitate to turquoise and black, and I'm not good at like connecting colors sometimes. It sometimes gives me anxiety because the yarn is so expensive, and you don't want to you want something nice to come out of it. So one of the YouTube channels that I watched a while back, a good long time ago, had mentioned using the color wheel. And this is just a pamphlet that you can get this was from Hobby Lobby, and it shows, if you've never been exposed to the color wheel, it shows what colors go together. And it's a simple pamphlet that, really has a decent amount of information. What are some complementary colors, how to use the color wheel, the triadic, which is the triangle, those 3 points is showing what colors go together. And then also with the square, it shows like these colors can go together. And then the complementary colors as well, which is directly across the color wheel. So you have up and down, side to side, and diagonal. So that was a very eye-opening, you'd think because I've been involved in acrylic painting and whatnot that I would have connected the dots, but I didn't. So the color guide has been a very good help for myself. And now that I've used it more, I'm more comfortable with the color guide, knowing, complementary colors. The other place that I get my inspiration from, it's like advertising. Trader Joe's had a tin, what was a plastic tub of cookies, and it was for their gingerbread cookies this year. I accidentally threw the cookie thing away, but I did take a picture of it, so I'll put that in the description so that you guys can see what I was referring to. But it was an absolutely beautiful cover, It was blues and reds and golds, all mixed together. I thought, wow, that would be such a beautiful project somehow, some way. The other piece of material that I wanted to show you guys is this beautiful, it's a tea towel from the Queen. But look at the beautiful colors, the golds, the purple, the red, the white, green, pink. I'm going to flip it over here so you can see. It's warm tones and cool tones. Wouldn't that make an amazing project as well? Not all the colors, but just showing you how warm tones and cool tones can really complement each other and be a beautiful, it could be a garment, it could be a blanket, just a scarf. But I mean, those colors are just stunning together, and I would have never put all those colors together. So that was, I just want to share that with you too. One of my favorite artists is Frida Kahlo. I love her story. Her use of colors. I've never gotten to see one of her actual masterpieces in, other than on TV or in a magazine. I've never seen it myself. I've been to many, many beautiful museums all over Europe, all over the United States. And she's my absolute favorite. And I look forward to someday getting to see one of her original pieces of work. But she used color just spontaneously. It represents like freedom to me because, she was encaged in pain and agony for all of her adult life because of the accident that she was involved in. And the color was just freedom for her and happiness, even down to how she put her makeup on. And of course, we know that she was famous for her unibrow, but it looked great on her. Now, I don't want that, but just the amount of color that she was not afraid of color. And I think that being in the yarn and fiber arts that we're in, you can mix so much together. And even if it may not appeal to everybody, but it's what you feel in your spirit, and it's your signature. I think that's very important to not be afraid to use warm tones and cool tones together, and to be able to gather inspiration from other pieces of work. There's no shame in that. It's not copying, it's enjoying and making it your own piece of art. So I just wanted to, talk a little bit about that today. Tell me in the comments who maybe your favorite artist is, or where you get your inspiration. If we can share things like that, I think it helps everybody. I tend to go to like a solid color, yarn, except, I'm learning to do more of a multicolor and how to add another color to the multicolor. So that's the part that I'm starting to try to learn better, is complementary colors and how to mix different textures. I still do gravitate though to solid colors, and I don't feel as if solid colors is boring because I like to wear jewelry that has different accents to it. Do I feel like you could have too many colors on? Maybe at some point you probably could, but I guess my message today is don't be afraid to use color. Don't be afraid to experiment. The beauty of crochet and the fiber arts in knitting is you can always take it apart. You can always start over. It's resilience. It's teaching us patience. And, if it's not right on the first try, frog it, take it apart, do it again. Add a different color, and that's the beauty of crochet and knitting, is it's not a final project. In fact, I've talked about this poncho that I made, my Southwest poncho. It's gray with a big turquoise feather design. It's a lightning feather is what it's called. And I've made that poncho 3 times and I still have not gotten the sizing correct for myself. So I'm going to go ahead and I have enough yarn to go ahead and start over, but I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm just going to frog the whole entire thing because it's too wide, and it's a boxy poncho. So I had a mistake in it. I started with 1 size hook and I accidentally used the wrong size hook. So then my stitches are smaller. And of course, being the wrong size, that didn't help because then it's bigger yet. So I'm just frustrated with it, but I'm not going to give up. I'm going to frog that whole thing and I'm going to do it over. I'm going to do it until I get it the right size for me. So yeah, that's going to be a lesson in patience, that's for sure. So I wanted to, don't feel like you're the only one making mistakes or having to frog things. I'm going to show you my next project that I made a giant mistake with. I'm in Central Florida, and last night when I went to pick up my daughter, it was probably 10:30 at night. It was 37 degrees. Now that's cold for us. So I am enjoying wearing my wool sweater, but let me go ahead and show you. I told you guys about the cardigan that I'm making, and it's MJ's Off the Hook. So this is the right side panel for the front, and this is the sleeve, the front sleeve, okay? And you're supposed to work it from the bottom up, and you put a stitch marker on the right side of the panel, okay? And you can change how many bobble or shell stitches you have and how many straight double crochet just to change it up a bit. There's a little bit of flexibility in the pattern. So this is the one piece, okay? That's the front right panel. Well, the front left panel is what I messed up on. So I ended up frogging because I had the whole front panel and the whole sleeve panel completed. And I noticed that after the piece that's up here that makes the sleeve and the collar in this part right here, I noticed that these I don't know if you want to call it's not really a bobble stitch, it's more like a shell. It's probably both. The stitch here was pushed in. It was like this side. It was like that from the 5 or 6 rows going up. And I was like, well, that doesn't look right. And I looked down here at my stitch marker and it was the wrong side. So somewhere, somehow, I had ended up not turning my work correctly, okay? Because these stitches, I had done these stitches on the wrong side. Try and follow me. I know it's a bit confusing. I was confused, obviously, because I had to rip back my work. So I ended up taking all of that whole section out, this whole top section, all the way to here, okay? All of it on the left panel. So now I get to do it again. But now I know it's going to be on the right side of the work. And the other thing that I forgot to do, and I'm going to have to take it out on the right hand side, the right side panel too, is this right here. This is the collar piece right here where the sweater goes, like it's a small V-neck, okay? Well, I forgot to decrease here. So that means I don't have a V shape starting. So now I have to take out this part as well on the right hand side panel and recreate the left hand side panel with the sleeve. So am I happy about it? No. But will I be happy with the end product? Yes. So it takes time. It's errors and it's frustrating. Now, could I have just fudged it? Sure. I could have had a straight collar cardigan and just gone with it. But I really like a V-neck, and it would have changed the shape of the ribbing that I have to do all the way around. So those are the fun parts of crochet, but it teaches you resilience. It teaches you patience. I don't feel as if it's, over obsessive to have every exact thing correct. No, but you can choose if you've missed a stitch, or if you've accidentally done one double stitch in the middle of your row, it's not going to show. But on the end of your row, it could make your product go wider or narrower. So yeah, you would have to frog that back. So it's kind of like giving yourself some grace when you can, and giving yourself some patience, and try not to get too aggravated when you have made a giant mistake and you have to rip it back. Whoops. So yeah. And the other thing that happened with this, I know I mentioned it before, is the yarn that I bought. I had purchased on Black Friday with Premier Yarns. Well, Premier Yarns doesn't sell the DK weight. So I went ahead and I purchased worsted weight number 4 from Universal Yarns, which is a sister company. So what I've done is I have used a one size smaller hook with the bigger yarn, and you can't tell, and I'm fortunate that the dye lots aren't messed up either. So you can't tell that the yarn is it's a 4 versus the 3 that I started with. So those are the things that you learn a little by little as you do these projects. These are, like, I never have experienced not having enough yarn before. I've always just been able to get more. Well, now you got to figure out the best way to try and salvage the project, and not drive yourself crazy. So, well, I'm not going to say I'm not crazy, because I am a little crazy. But anyway, so I wanted to share that with you guys. So I'm anxious. I'm hoping to get this sweater done by the weekend. I have an event on Sunday that I'd really like to wear it to, but we'll see. We'll see if I can get it done in time, because the ribbing around the front is a lot of stitches, and it's tiny stitches. One other thing I wanted to show you guys, this here, it's a little antique, it's a collar bar. You used to wear them like when you have a button down collar and it would sit behind a tie. Well, this is for a lady, and it's just like it's costume jewelry, and the ends, it screws out so you can put it through the hole of the collar. But what I use it for, I'm gonna put it back on so I don't lose the end of it. I found it at a it was an antique shop. It's old. I don't want to scrub on it because the finish on it has changed color, but that doesn't bother me. But what I use it for is a shawl pin to keep my shawls in so that they stay nice, on my shoulder or wherever I folded it. So I like different things like that to accessorize my shawls. So I wanted to show you guys that, because you can find those, it wasn't expensive. It's probably $6 or $8, but it's different. It's, and it's just a little conversation piece. So I really like that. And so back to yarn. When I first started crocheting, I picked out yarn according to the color. Like, I love the color. So one of my first projects, I picked a beautiful red and gray. It was darker colors. It was wintertime. And it was, my dog is snoring down here. Baxy's snoring. So if you hear snoring or growling, he's just having a dream. He's in dreamy land. So I picked a beautiful gray, and it had in red and slate color, as well as like a dark burgundy. So it was darker colors. Well, nobody explained to me that when you're brand new crocheting, you got to try and find your stitches. You have to count your stitches. So just a word to the wise, if you're new to crocheting or knitting, my biggest advice is use a lighter colored yarn, one that's not so busy when you're learning, so you can see your stitches. So I wish somebody would have shared that with me, because maybe my first project would have been a little bit more successful. I never finished it until many years later. I took it all apart, and then I used the yarn for a scarf for my friend. I'm enjoying my coffee this morning. So this past weekend, we brought my mom, my sister and I, we took her to one of the favorite things that she likes to do is the Scottish Highland Games. It's a festival, an annual festival, and it runs throughout the United States. So it's not just here in Central Florida. It's a group, like a Renaissance group, that travels. So the Scottish Highland Games, they travel through the U.S. They have, what are they called? When demonstrations, sorry, I couldn't think of the word, they use the sheepdogs. They show how they corral the sheep, and so I love watching those demonstrations. Those dogs are just amazing. They're so fast. And the different whistles that they use to teach them to go different ways. So it was a beautiful day. And my mom is in her late 70s. So she has her favorite things that she likes to do. And we took her to that. And we got to see there's a camp area where all the clans set up their tents with all the information of the clan and where it started and where it is in Scotland, and the different variations of the names. So we got to find our clan, so that was interesting. We also had some delicious, oh my gosh, the shortbread cookies were amazing. And we also had scones. There was a lady there that had set up her tent, and she had some sweaters and capes that were from Scotland. The wool it was just beautiful. My sister bought this gorgeous full-length cardigan that, goes down to your calves. It was stunning, absolutely stunning. And it's a light gray color with some flecks in it of darker gray, with the beautiful cabling. It's got an open collar V-neck, and I think there's maybe 4 buttons. Right at the knee is where the last button ends, so there's 4 kind of like midsection on your body. That thing is so beautiful. She's going to get so much. I know we're here in Florida and it's usually 1,000 degrees, but we also live in air conditioning, so you basically freeze to death too. So anyway, even though it doesn't seem like we would be wearing those types of sweaters, we do. So it was a gorgeous day. It didn't get over like 72 degrees, so it was perfect for, watching demonstrations and having a nice cold frosty beer or a glass of wine. We watched them do the boulder toss and the where they taught the big poles. Oh my goodness, it was amazing. It was amazing. It was a really good day. So we had a good day at that. And the music, oh my gosh, the bagpipes, just phenomenal. If you ever see in your area the Scottish Highland Games, spend the $30 to go for the day. It is an absolute treat. And it's just nice to see a different culture. They had traditional food. I did not have any mutton and I did not have any haggis. I'm not interested in it. But I did I do appreciate the difference in culture, but I just not, it's not for me. I'll stick to the scones and the biscuits and the shortbread cookies. Now that I can get into, and I actually brought some home, so I've been enjoying those this week with my coffee. So let me see if I had anything else. There's a crochet along that is on the YouTube streets right now, and it's with I think it's Missisyarniverse. I'll link it in the description below. And they're doing a washcloth crochet along. And if you join their channel at the end of the year, you get a patch for completing the washcloths that they assign I think it's once a month. I can't remember if it's each week or once a month. You'll have to look it up. But I was thinking of doing that myself. I mean, I can always use kitchen washcloths, that's for sure. So I wanted to see if you guys wanted to start something like, something similar, if we want to join that, that crochet along. Maybe some of you are already in that crochet along. I think it's hilarious that they give out these like patches. It's so cute because they have different things that, like, they have an amigurumi one that they have, and she's partnered up with another YouTube fiber artist, and they have a company that does embroidery. So like if you wanted to get project bags with your logo on it, or even just like if you're going to a show and you want some extra material, they'll go ahead and make that material for you, as far as like your logo on different things, stickers, all kinds of stuff. So anyway, I'll link those different channels below, but I wanted to see if you guys wanted to join something like that, or if anybody has any good suggestions that we want to do on my channel. I'm open to that. I'm looking at a new tripod so that I can be doing a little bit of work crocheting, and you guys can take a peek at it. So I'm going to be doing that within the next week or so. I've been looking at them online to see which one I want to purchase. I'm not going to spend $1 million on it, but it's something that I'm looking at. So that's what's coming up on the channel as well. So I'll be doing, I wouldn't say a full-blown tutorial, but get you started on a project, or you can watch what I'm doing. So that's something I'm thinking about as well. But I just want to stop in today and mostly just thank everybody for joining my channel. It means so much to me. And, as I watch other YouTubers and they say that, I appreciate what they're saying. I appreciate the thanks that they're giving. But I never really felt it, obviously, until last week. I had 4 subscribers, and this week I have 30. So that is just awesome. I'm like so excited. And I feel like the hard work that I've been putting in has been paying off. So I'm going to start working on some spring items. In my area, I don't know of any, I had a tickle in my throat, any craft shows or for the spring. So I'm going to start looking up some to see if there's, I know in my area, maybe north of Orlando, there might be some, but I'm just not aware of them. So, but I am going to add some spring things to my Etsy shop. So I'd like to get rid of some of my fall items. But if I don't, it's okay. I'll just pack them away for my fall show. My art guild, we've been talking about locations to have our fall show. So I think we've nailed down a location. It's not going to be we usually have a 6-week show, but we're not able to this year. So so we're trying to put in an extra, like 2-day show, and we're also joining other craft shows in our area. So it's a bummer, but hopefully next year, 2027, maybe we'll be back in our building and be able to do our 6-week show, because it's so nice to just set up one time for 6 weeks, and we all have to volunteer our time to run the show, because it's Monday through, it's 7 days a week. And so, but it's worth it, you know, we have a good time doing it. So anyway, I can't think of anything else to share at the moment. So I hope you guys are having a great day. I hope you've had a great week since I've seen you all. Well, some of you I've just seen today. It's my first time. So welcome. Welcome to my channel. If you have some constructive, positive feedback, I'm always open to hearing it. I'm doing the best I can. I'm learning as I go. I'm happy to be here, and I hope you've enjoyed chatting with me today, because I've enjoyed chatting with you. So you guys have a great day, and hugs and kisses. Take care.